this bill of comprehensive police reform to be... just got to be careful here with some gunshots. Excuse us. It sounds like gunshots. I'll let you know what this is.
Welcome to Drew Hernandez Live. Today is the disastrous anniversary of the death of fentanyl addict George Floyd. And it was a disaster in Minneapolis today at the George Floyd Memorial. We're going to talk about that tonight. Just straight out the gate, this show's offensive. I just got to be honest. I watched this and I'm like, this is just a joke. They're literally reporting, they're virtue signaling. There they are talking about police reform at the epicenter in George Floyd Square Memorial in Minneapolis. And Okay. We'll get into that. Welcome to Drew Hernandez Live. My name is Drew Hernandez, hopefully one of your favorite podcast hosts here on YouTube. If you guys can do me a huge favor and subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification and toggle on the all selection. YouTube leaves you on an occasional notification selection, so you got to change it yourself. Make sure to toggle on all. Also, please share this video far and wide wherever you could post a link on your socials, wherever a link can be posted. Share this now. Also, if you guys can do me a huge favor and smash and destroy that like button, that'll greatly help the algorithm, your own algorithm on your channel, in theory, to continue to show content from moi. So thank you guys very much. And like I always say, this show is 100% supported by the people, we the people, that is you. We are obviously extremely deboosted on this channel, over 55,000 subscribers, and can barely pull around 3,000 views an episode. So do the math, doesn't make any sense. So it's really hard for us to monetize. So we really do thank you guys for the support on this channel. You guys can support me monthly by joining the DH Alliance for as low as $5 a month on the membership section on this channel, or you can give a one-time donation on my website, drewhlive.com, on Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, all that good stuff, or you can cop something from the merch store at drewhlive.com. You guys can check out t-shirts for men, women, water bottles, all that good stuff. Or you can do a super chat at the end of every single show. We do super chats. If you want to drop it now, the middle of the show, or wait till the end of the show, if you would like to show your support for Drew Hernandez, you can do it that way as well. So thank you guys very much for the support. So this is the way, the anniversary of the death of fentanyl addict George Floyd was a total disaster. Okay, for those of you that don't know, okay, there's where the epicenter of where George Floyd decided to resist arrest and lose his life in Minneapolis. They have erected an autonomous zone. It is very regulated. There are BLM militias that barely let media in, will rarely let media in. They regulate who can come in, who can come out. The businesses in the area have been shut down. It's a very pretty ridiculous situation. They're literally like their own little village. People that just worship George Floyd, literally. Sometimes you go in there and there are literally people praying to George Floyd. It's a cult. It's a religion. The guy was a fentanyl addict. I think the black community deserves a better role model than someone who decided to resist arrest, high on fentanyl, got himself killed. Like I said, this show's offensive. So if you can't handle it, you can't stomach it, there's the door. It's right there, okay? Just going to be honest, straight out the gate. This is going to be a very offensive show. So today is the anniversary of his death. Black Lives Matter decided to cause over $2 billion in damages by rioting across the United States of America. Multiple people were killed over the so-called social justice riots that took place in the name of George Floyd 2020, even going on into 2021. So now here we arrive at the anniversary of the death of fentanyl addict George Floyd. And obviously, the epicenter where the memorial is in Minneapolis is going to have something going on. They actually let media in, okay? Minneapolis is a hellhole, okay? Minneapolis is a garbage can. To put it politely, okay? What these people have done to this community is just gut the hell out of it, okay? It's not safe. It is not safe. And to me, this video is hilarious because you have media that have come into George Floyd Square, the memorial area, right? And they're there reporting on police reform. Listen, the only media they will let in is media that is going to make them and their movement look good, okay? So you have reporters in there that are reporting, trying to make Black Lives Matter look good, talking about police reform. And I mean, the defund the police narrative and agenda, the epicenter is from Black Lives Matter, from Minneapolis, because of fentanyl addict George Floyd. So you have these guys reporting in the memorial in Minneapolis, talking about police reform and the BLM movement, and it's a year of progress. And then out of nowhere, it's a shooting, bro. It's a shooting. No cops. No cops. These reporters are just like, I think it's shooting. I think it's shooting. Listen. Just take a look for yourself.
This bill of comprehensive police reform to be. Just got to be careful here with some gunshots. Excuse us.
Oh my gosh. Welcome to Minneapolis.
You know what this is. These seem to be gunshots.
They seem to be gunshots. My God.
Shit, where is that?
We're okay. We're just going to go.
Residents in Minnesota and Minneapolis to observe 9 minutes and 29 seconds of silence, representing the 9 minutes and 29 seconds that Derek Chauvin knelt on George Floyd's neck. Hold on.
All right, we're going to check in with Alex in a bit. It sounds like there may be some trouble there in Minneapolis. We're going to check in with them. Obviously, we hope that they are safe.
Okay, listen, I'm not laughing because people are getting shot and dying. It's just, I'm laughing because you have these virtue signaling reporters. They're only allowed in there because Black Lives Matter lets them in there so that they look good in front of the world, okay? So you have these virtue signaling journalists that are there talking about police reform and making Black Lives Matter look good and talking about how the police have been defunded in Minneapolis and the movement has progressed and accomplished so much, and then out of nowhere, boom, 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 like right down the street, there's shootings and the reporters start freaking the hell out because they have no idea what's going on. Dude, it is just so funny because you could see on the look of the first reporter's face, like he has no idea where he's at, right? This guy's talking about police reform, making them look good, but now he ends up in a situation where you ain't gonna call the police, bro. You're in George Floyd Square, son. These people don't want cops. You gotta call the BLM police to come save you. You got a shooting literally probably like 200 feet away from you, maybe really close to you. Maybe, you don't even know. And these dudes are just freaking out. Listen, it is hilarious to me. I laugh at this video because it proves and it shows the reality that the defund the police narrative, people don't really want to roll with it, especially reporters. It is absolutely like, I saw this and I kept watching it over and over again. And it's just like, with police reform, go bah, 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 bah. There's people just getting blasted in the background. They're trying to like portray to the American people that what Black Lives Matter has done is actually a good progressive thing while people are getting blasted and shot in the background. Oh yeah, that's totally going to convince the American people that defunding the police is a good thing. Because if you picked up the phone, reporter, right in the middle of all of that to ask for police intervention, you ain't getting nothing. So yeah, report on that. It's like, send in the social workers. Send in the social workers. Send them in. Send them in. We got bullets flying. People getting shot in Minneapolis. Send in the social workers. They're going to de-escalate it. They will. They'll de-escalate. They'll just walk up to the gunman and say, excuse me, I learned in my critical race theory class that you're a black man and you're oppressed. So that's the reason why you're very angry and you have a gun. And I would like to politely ask you to please not be a criminal and not kill people. And then boom! That's how that's going to work, okay? For all the woke tards out there that advocate for social workers to replace police officers, this is why we have police officers, to put themselves in these very violent situations to protect the public, just like reporters on the ground that are just simply reporting that find themselves in the middle of a freaking shootout. It's just like hilarious. I just think it's hilarious, dude. It's just like, wake up. Hello. These people are crazy. This is not how you run a society. It's not until somebody gets killed do people start waking up and realizing that the ideas coming from Black Lives Matter are woke-tarded. I'm going to say that to the day that I die. I don't care that it's offensive because that is literally what these people are. They're woke-tards. They think they're so awake. They think that they're so nuanced. They think that they have these ideas that are just so intellectually thought out, but they're stupid. They make no sense. There's no intellectual connection with anything that these people actually do, especially in terms of policy. With police reform, with Black Lives Matter, like as if it's a good thing, and then bah, 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 bah. They're just like, oh, my whole life just flashed before my eyes. Maybe this is a bad idea. I told you guys this was going to be an offensive show. Oh my goodness. Okay. What are we going to do here? You guys want to take a look at this? Okay, let's take a look at this. Let's get this up. Breaking. The Post-Millennial reports shots fired at George Floyd Memorial in Minneapolis. A drive-by shooting appears to have been caught on live television at George Floyd's memorial Tuesday in Minneapolis today, on the 1-year anniversary of his death. This is just hold on, let me pull this down. A lot of ads on here, Post-Millennial, not liking it. Okay, gunfire was captured during ABC Crew's live recording from George Floyd Square. ABC News multi-platform reporter Alex Prescia was speaking to the camera when rounds can be heard fired in the background of the live report. Down, down, down was shouted multiple times on air. I just showed you guys the video. The AP's international affiliate reporter Philip Crowther was on the scene, and as he discussed police reform, this is like a Babylon Bee. This is like a Babylon Bee moment. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not laughing that people are like almost getting killed in these reporters. I'm laughing because they're only allowed in there because BLM lets them. You guys have to understand this. BLM will not let media in there that is not pre-approved by them. That's going to make them look bad. So this is an entire virtue signal. So these reporters go in there thinking that they get a pass and then they end up in a damn shootout. They're trying to make their ideas look good. Oh, it's just too funny. Oh my goodness. Let it burn. Just let it burn. Let it burn. That's what these people want. Let it burn. Cue the Usher music. Associated Press international affiliate reporter Philip Crowther was on the scene as he discussed police reform. He ducked beneath the camera as others fled and hid. Come on, dude. Oh my God. Crowther later observed hearing several dozen sounds of gunshots. Everyone sheltered in place. Lots of running. No apparent need for medics. Hey, you ain't gonna get them, son. Oh my goodness. Okay, from our vantage point, we see one broken window, apparently from one of the shots fired, Crowther reported. Consensus among reporters here at George Floyd Square was that we heard anywhere between a dozen and 24 shots fired. It's going real well, Minneapolis. Yeah, oh yeah. This is what happens when you follow a fentanyl addict. Told you, offensive show tonight. I don't care. Upon reviewing the footage, Crowther determined that 30 gunshots were fired. 30 gunshots were fired. A fellow reporter just had her phone smashed. Listen, I'm laughing because these people, they think they're on BLM's side. Black Lives Matter will not let these people into this memorial, okay? You need to understand that. They will not let them in if they don't appear to be friends of Black Lives Matter, okay? So these people go in thinking that they're friends, and then they end up getting treated like this. A fellow reporter just had her phone smashed because she took photos of a storefront hit by a bullet. Crowther reported half an hour later. Oh man, dude. Another journalist was also robbed and told to never come back to George Floyd Square. Minneapolis Star Tribune videographer Mark Van Cleve said he had his drone taken by 3 dudes working security, okay? About a block from 38th in Chicago in Minneapolis this morning. That's when he was threatened, he wrote on Twitter. And by security, I mean the Bloods crew. That's who the police are right now in George Floyd. The Bloods, okay? Gang members, son. Y'all wanted to defund the police? Well, now you got the Bloods. I just laugh. I laugh like I'm the freaking Joker because I'm just like, just let it burn. Just let it burn. This is what these people want. This is what they vote for. This is what they advocate for. Just let it burn, bro. Just let it burn. Yes, it sucks that innocent people are going to get caught in the crosshairs, but you know what? These people wanted this. They vote for this crap. They advocate for this crap. So I just sit back and I just laugh and watch it burn. Watch their ideas implode on themselves. That is the joy that I get out of this. 1 volley, then 2, then 3. Many bystanders tweeted Los Angeles Times writer Molly Hennessy Fisk, who was just walking towards George Floyd Square. People couldn't tell if it was fireworks at first. It was right in the square. 2 gunshot victims were reportedly rushed to the hospital and are being transferred to the Hennepin County Medical Center. There are reports that the injuries are connected to the shots fired at the tribute ceremony. NBC News cited at least 1 person was hospitalized for non-life-threatening injuries, according to the authorities. The shooting occurred at 10 a.m. at the 3800 block of Elliott Avenue, according to Minneapolis police. The suspected shooter was last seen driving away from the scene, according to police. Yeah, you're not going to get much from them. No other details, including motive for the shooting or the identity of the 1 victim, were released to the public at the time of this publication. This is a breaking story and will be updated. Let's take this down. I mean, listen, man. Listen, this is what you get. Okay? Listen. I'm not laughing at innocent people. I am laughing at the people, okay, that have advocated for this crap. They wanted this crap. They marched for this crap. They rioted for this crap, and now they're getting it. So I have zero sympathy for people in this little area. Like, oh my God, we're so scared. What's happening? What's happening? It's like, well, stop supporting terrorist organizations like Black Lives Matter that want your communities to turn into this. Stop supporting these terrorist organizations, Black Lives Matter and Antifa, that mobilize to defund and gut the police, so now your community ends up looking like Minneapolis. Stop it. Even if they call you a racist, stop it. Stop getting behind this organization. This is how subversion works. Because you think that you're getting behind an organization that's fighting for the civil rights of black people and fighting against the brutalization of the black community. Oh, yes, I'm at a virtue signal. I'm a white Wookiee on the left. I'm a woke-tard. I got to get behind that. We got to help all the black people that are experiencing a genocide at the hands of police officers that are killer white supremacists. Oh my goodness, we got to get behind that. Yes, defund the police, defund the police. Do you know how many white people are doing this in this country right now on the left? Millions. And then they fall for this crap, and they actually think that's what Black Lives Matter is, when in reality, they're a neo-communist organization that wants the destabilization of the United States of America, and they do it by subversion, by gutting law and order in this country, and then you get Minneapolis. So enjoy. Zero sympathy. Zero. For people that virtue signal and get behind Black Lives Matter and think it's about black people being brutalized. I told you this was going to be an offensive show. If you can't stomach it, then there's the door. It's just so funny. They're celebrating, defunding the police. They're celebrating the Black Lives Matter movement. They're celebrating, the death of George Floyd. Because of him and his death, they were able to get the funding. They've raised billions of dollars. They have so much support. And what they're doing is they're actually defunding police stations. They're putting cops out on the street and their families, and they're not allowing them to do their jobs, and they're replacing. Okay? Defund the police doesn't mean not having police. It's a regime change. That's why you have gang members. That's why you have Black Lives Matter that want to come out and say, no, we want to install our own thing here. That's when the Marxism comes. That's when you got a regime change. That's when you start to see the communists. And that's when you see the look on all the left, white guilt, left white people on the left, all these woke Wookiees on the left. That's when you see the look on their face go from, yeah, I'm so virtuous helping the blacks, go from, oh crap. Yeah. They're not actually about that. They're actually radical communists and they're destroying my community. Yes, that's who they are. This is the future of Black Lives Matter run regions. This is the prototype. Remember Chaz in Seattle? Same thing. Same exact thing. If you're going to let Black Lives Matter gain a foothold in your community and start peddling some of their policy and start changing things in your city, start changing things in your town, this is the prototype. What they've done in Minneapolis is what they want to do to the entire United States. Don't let it happen. Push back. Say no. Be very vocal against it. These people are communists. That's what they are. They say that, not me. That's not my idea. Black Lives Matter says they're communists. They hate law and order. That's what they do. They want to destabilize so they can usher in a regime change. The black community on the left has been hijacked. They hide behind the color of their skin. They hide behind a fentanyl addict. And they have all these emotional arguments, all these emotional things that they pin against minorities. They get all the minorities all emotionally worked up. They get behind it. All the white people on the left, all the woke-tards, they virtue signal. They bow down. Oh, I have so much white guilt. We got to support the black people. They're communists. They want to destroy your livelihood. That's what these people do. While they accumulate their own wealth. Literally, these Black Lives Matter people, the co-founders, these people are racking in millions, billions of dollars, buying estates and manors and mansions while peddling to you that black people are financially oppressed. Oh my God. Well, you got white people out there that are poorer than anyone could ever even imagine in this country. This is what your town will look like under the leadership of the Black Lives Matter communist regime. Period. This is what it's going to look like. All right? Ain't nobody going to come in and help you. Because if you come, listen, you want to know how this works? You know what started happening in DC over the summer last year? This is what started happening. Do you guys remember the viral video that I posted last summer? You may. When Black Lives Matter stormed a Target and started threatening Target. You guys remember that? Okay. For those of you that have been following me since then, that was one of the biggest videos that I posted. There was a bunch of big ones, but that was a big one. Because Black Lives Matter went into a Target in DC and started threatening everybody and saying, if you continue to call police on black people or people of color, then we're going to come back and it's not going to be as peaceful. That's where this goes, okay? It ends up going to a place, if you virtue signaling white Wookiees, woke tards on the left, you just continue with this white guilt, okay? If you continue to peddle to these people, it's going to get to the point where you cannot speak out against a person of color. You will not be able to call the police on a person of color. You will not be able to rightfully defend yourself from a person of color without being called a white supremacist, a terrorist, or some kind of white nationalist that's a racist that's fighting against a person of color, even though you're in the right and they're in the right. It doesn't matter. That's where this goes. That's exactly where this goes. That's the new regime change. And I, for one, as a person of color, I listen, someday that might benefit me, but I condemn it because it's evil. Any form of supremacy, whether it's black, brown, white, I don't give a damn. It's evil. It's racist. The sin of partiality, according to the Bible, is condemned by God. It's proud. It's pride. It's arrogance. It's the elevation of one individual. That's what racism is, and that is exactly what Black Lives Matter advocates for, and that's what you're seeing. If you want your town to look like Minneapolis right now in George Floyd Square, then open up your arms to Black Lives Matter. Because this is what they want to do to the entire world. This is what they want to do to the entire country. I don't care what anybody says. I've been around these people. I've covered this extensively, undercover. I've been in conversations. I've been in meetings without them knowing I'm there. These people hate this country. And I'm talking not about just crazy people that show. I'm talking about leaders. I've been in meetings with these people where this is the kind of stuff they talk about. Like, oh, Drew, you just hate black people. No, I don't hate black people. I love black people. I just have a problem with freaking domestic terrorist organizations that want to destabilize the United States from within. And they lead to this. It's ridiculous. Should piss anybody off. Can't call the police now, huh? These reporters, what are they going to do? Call the cops? You know, listen, if they called the cops, if a reporter pulled out the phone, you know what would happen? If a reporter pulled out the phone during that shooting and called the cops, they would probably beat the hell out of them on the spot. You want to know why? Because it was most likely a black person that was firing off shots, and they would turn around and say, how dare you call the police? How dare you call those terrorists on our people? And beat the hell out of them. That's how these people are. You say, Drew, that's a little bit extreme. I mean, really? Yes, really. Yes. That's how these people function. No logic, no reason, nothing. You cannot believe, or you cannot expect these types of organizations to have any type of logical reason that connects with reality. It's ridiculous. Well, let's just see how well it's going for Black Lives Matter. Let's just see how well it's going for Minneapolis with their whole defund the police agenda. Let's get this up. Let's take a look, okay? Let's see if this is actually a good idea. Minneapolis faced with uptick in violence since murder of George Floyd, which correlates alongside of the defunding the police policies in Minneapolis. That's what they've been fighting for. That's what they rioted for. We all know this. Minneapolis is facing a surge in violence, including homicides, as the city marks the 1-year anniversary of the murder of George Floyd. There have been double the amount of slayings this year than there were through the same period in 2010. And at least 100 homicides overall since Floyd was killed on May 25th, 2020. The Wall Street Journal reported. At least one person was shot Tuesday on the anniversary of Floyd's murder in a square named for Floyd, reports said. That's what we just reported to you guys today. Sites across the city, cities across the country are dealing with the massive increases in crime that many blame on pandemic woes, but the scrutiny on Minneapolis is intense because of Floyd, whose death sparked protests, riots, and calls for police reform, defunding the police. The New York Post is being so watered down here. I gotta just be honest. For police reform across the country. Some residents say many of the killings have gotten widespread attention or sparked calls for action because they haven't involved cops. So the residents are coming out and saying that people are getting slaughtered in their communities and it's not getting any attention because it didn't happen at the hand of a police officer. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is just, all right, let's see. There have been 31 homicides this year compared to 15 last year at the same time. And the city's homicide rate last year was the highest for Minneapolis since the 1990s. Defund the police, according to the Post. Nearly 200 people have been shot this year, double over last year, and the most in a decade. Nearly 200 people have been shot this year, double over last year, and the most in a decade, the paper said. Let's take this down. So this is obviously not getting any better. I mean, Minneapolis is having a whole, and I'm pretty sure they'll use this for an excuse to, usher in extreme gun control, policy from the Biden administration at the federal level and the local level, because that's what they do. And maybe that's by design. I don't know. Could be. That's what these people do. But what I will say is the defund the police agenda is only making Minneapolis more violent with homicides, shootings, and violent crimes against other people. And the mainstream media doesn't touch it. Even the residents of these communities are coming out and saying they're not getting a lot of attention because they're not deaths by the hand of a police officer. Defund the police, right? Get rid of the cops. That's what these people want. Oh, it's going to make the community safer. It's going to make black people much safer. If we have less cops, blacks will be less. Do you see how stupid this narrative is? They have zero proof. Listen, I talked to Black Lives Matter protesters on the streets in Minneapolis, and they literally tell me that the black community in the United States of America is experiencing a genocide. That blacks are being hunted and murdered on the streets of the United States of America by the hands of white killer crooked cops. That's what they say. And they have zero proof. Zero. So this emotional rhetoric that has no correspondence with reality ends up in the mainstream, ends up in the pop culture, ends up in our politics, and now it becomes policy, and there's no evidence to back up these things. They're extreme accusations that lead to extreme remedies, and they're not even real. Gutting police officers, gutting the stations, gutting the funding, defunding them with a regime change, and it's only making things more violent. It's not even real. This is worse for the black community. It's worse for the black community because the police officers in the black community are not hunting black people. Black people are killing each other at higher percentage rates than officers are killing blacks in a lot of these communities. That's a fact. The black community needs to get it together. So do Hispanics. I don't let them get a pass either because the Hispanics are right behind the blacks. They're killing each other. Their violent crime, they're the two highest percentages in the country. It's the blacks and it's the Hispanics. So I condemn those communities. I condemn the minority communities that need to get it together because if we cannot show that we can take care of each other first, we have no business peddling these conspiracy theories saying, oh, blaming all of our problems on cops. Defunding police officers, making communities more violent for people of color in our communities because if there's no cops to keep the peace, then we're just going to continue killing each other even further. That's what this shooting was today. I can't talk like this though, right? They won't let me talk. Oh, Drew, that's too much truth. That's too much facts. Way too much. Can't talk like that. The blacks got to stay the oppressed. They're getting hunted by no, they're not. It's not happening. It's not true. They're not. Black people are killing each other at higher percentages than cops are killing black people. That's a fact. So that's the conversation that I want to have, okay, with these communities. When the hell are we going to start getting our communities, when the hell are they going to start getting it together? We can't be sitting here blaming cops and acting like that's the massive issue. Look at Chicago, okay? The massive issue in this country is not cops killing minorities. It's minorities killing each other. That's the big issue in this country that nobody wants to talk about. Anytime I bring it up, oh, shut it down, shut it down. Anytime you talk to someone in Black Lives Matter, that's not what this is about. You talk to any SJW woke tard on the left, well, what about minorities killing each other at higher percentages? No, that's not what this is about. This is about police brutality. Well, that's not as bad as our own people killing and slaughtering each other. Why don't you want to talk about it? Because they don't give a damn. It's a grift. They just want to make a name for themselves. They do not care about these communities because if they did, then they would want to have these conversations that I'm bringing up right now. It's ridiculous. Well, look how embarrassing this has gotten for our country. Let's get this up. So as you've heard, the Biden administration was encouraging United States embassies to raise the Black Lives Matter flag across the world, to stand in solidarity with the organization and the black community, not only in the U.S., but foreign and abroad, to fight against racism. Sounds good, doesn't it? But that's not who Black Lives Matter is. So Black Lives Matter continued. United States Embassy in Spain flies flag to honor George Floyd, a fentanyl addict. Okay, listen, this is who's representing you, America, in Spain right now. They're waving a BLM, a communist black supremacist flag to honor George Floyd, a fentanyl addict. That's representing you in Spain right now at this embassy. Get that, dude? That does not represent me as an American. I'm sorry. It does not represent me at all. At all. This is right here, what you see right here. Black Lives Matter, this flag right here. This is racist, is what it is. This is what this is. It's a lie. It's a communist flag post, is what it is. As reported in an exclusive Human Events news piece Monday, all United States diplomatic and consular posts are being encouraged by the Biden administration to display support for Black Lives Matter on Tuesday, May 25th, the one-year anniversary of fentanyl addict George Floyd's death. The memo reads in part, the department supports the use of the term Black Lives Matter in messaging content, speeches, and other diplomatic engagements with foreign audiences to advance racial equity and access to justice on May 25th and beyond. We encourage posts to focus on the need to eliminate systemic racism and its continued impact. It didn't take long for the fire to spread, as the United States Embassy in Spain is now flying a Black Lives Matter flag loud and proud. There's the picture. This is such an embarrassment, man. I'm sorry. This is just... With the memo circulating around the State Department, it will be interesting to see the impact it has on United States embassies around the world. Human Events News will provide updates on who decides to jump on the bandwagon. Let's take this down. Number one, you guys ready for this? Let's see if I could tap into your spirit. This flag, this communist flag, number one, this communist flag, Black Lives Matter, is a communist Marxist organization that is not only in the United States, but is worldwide. Okay? And they raise billions of dollars, and they're open about their Marxism. They say that they're trained Marxists. They are communists. And now we have on your United States Embassy waving high and proud a communist Black Lives Matter flag to represent the United States of America. This is embarrassing to this country. This is pure subversion. This is signaling to the world. Listen, China don't give a damn. Iran don't give a damn. These people don't care about our identity politics, our enemies foreign abroad. North Korea doesn't give a damn. North Korea sees that. You know what these enemies see? They see a signal of the American people opening up their arms to a communist party. That's what it looks like to the world. That's what that flag means to the world. Because the rest of the world knows what Black Lives Matter is. The rest of the world knows that Black Lives Matter is not about black people. They know that Black Lives Matter is a self-proclaimed communist organization. And now you have the United States of America signaling to the world, raise that flag high and proud so the world can see, oh, we just care about fighting against racial injustice. No, that is the cover that they get everywhere. In the pop culture, in the education system, and in our politics. The Trojan horse are black people, especially on the left. To usher in communism and Marxism to make it mainstream and normalized. And now you have on your embassy, America, a flag that represents Marxism and communism waving high and proud. An organization that wants to destabilize the United States of America from within now has their logo on a United States embassy. Let that sink in just for one moment. Insanity. Another thing, they claim to be flying this flag at the United States Embassy to represent George Floyd in the United States. Listen, a fentanyl addict does not represent me or my family, okay? A fentanyl addict that could not comply with the police officers that got himself killed is not someone that represents me as an American, so that flag does not represent me. And George Floyd, who's a fentanyl addict, does not represent me. They do not represent me as an American, period. Listen, this is what should bother you as an American, that these virtue signaling woke-tards in the federal government, they allow these things to take place, they put it on a United States embassy, and they expect it to represent you. Is there anybody in this chat that is represented by Fentanyl Floyd right now? Yes or no? Anybody? Doesn't represent me, you better believe it. Pfft. I'm not a racist. It's not because he's black. It's because he's a criminal. That's why. This is the United States bowing the knee to the communists. And this is where we are in 2021 because you have the federal government encouraging people to put these flags up, willfully knowing that it represents communism, which is a threat to the United States of America from within. You're seeing it everywhere. It's destroyed everything. The cultural Marxism has destroyed everything. It's probably destroyed your favorite TV shows, your movies, your pop culture, everything. It's like, damn, I can't watch anything without this critical freaking race theory in it anymore. At all. Right now, this is a signal, the United States saying we are bowing to the communists. That's what that means. And I don't know about you, America. I don't. Not this guy. Not me. And if you feel the same way, drop a 1 in the comment section below. This is a joke, is what it is. It's a joke. It's seriously a joke, and it should not continue. And people need to be more vocal, condemn it, and speak out against it. Look at that. Everybody's saying no. This has ruined everything. It sucks. Alrighty, guys. Well, let's do some super chats. This is how you guys can support my show. Obviously, we're extremely deboosted. I'm grateful that you guys are here. You've been chosen to breach the matrix. So if you guys would like to hang around, we do super chats at the end of every single show. So if you guys would like to hang around, but if not, if you got to go, please subscribe to the channel. If you loved this content, hit that bell notification, toggle on the all selection, and share this video far and wide. But I'm pretty sure you guys have a lot of good things to say. So we'll do some super chats. And if you got to head out, make sure to check out the merch store at drewhlive.com. The link is in the description below. But also, guys, if you guys don't want to do a super chat here on YouTube, you can donate directly to my website on Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. The link is in the description below, and you can write a little note on there, and I'll treat it just like a super chat, and I'll read it on air. So thank you guys very, very much. So let's do some super chats. It looks like this is a pretty lit chat tonight, huh? Alrighty, so let's see. Let's see what some people are saying tonight. I warned you guys, it could be a pretty offensive show, man. Let's see. We have some super chats coming down now. Okay, we got a super chat here from Julie Ann. We salute you, Julie Ann. We have 2 super chats from Julie Ann. I think that's $7 in total. Julie Ann says, "Been over a week. Was busy. Hope all is well with you, Drew." Hey. It's all good, Julianne. Thank you so much. I understand. That's how life is. She also says, "Watch live on patrol. Ramsey County Sheriff Bob Fletcher, Christian too. The real patrol, the people, so different than manipulated mainstream media narrative." I will definitely take a look at that as well. Anything that is promoting the truth, whether it's left or right. I mean, you don't really see that from the left. I'll listen. I just want the truth. That's all I want. Just give me the truth, and I can decide for myself. Right? I think that's what we want right now. So we have another super chat or a super sticker from Almost Ultra. It's a super sticker of a cake and a candle. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for the super sticker. We have another super chat from Blue Sky, a $10 super chat. We salute you, Blue Sky. Says, "Beijing Joe invites the George Floyd family to the White House." Yep. Meantime, no mention of 2 campaign Illinois officer. Oh, got it. The Illinois officer shot, 1 killed, Officer Chris, I don't want to mispronounce his last name, Chris O, who will be laid to rest tomorrow. I mean, but that's the thing though, right? You're not going to get any love for police officers right now. These people have effectively demonized cops. And I'm all, listen, you guys know me. You guys have heard me. I am all for calling out crooked cops. I am not 100% blindly back the blue because evil people exist. And evil, crooked cops exist, okay? I support good cops. You guys know this, right? But what these people have done is they have taken a minority of crooked cops and they've convinced in the psyche of millions of Americans that that's how all cops are, which is a total lie. And I condemn that because it's not fair. good cops that put their lives on the line every single day to protect and serve the American people do not deserve to be treated the way that they are being treated because of the rhetoric and the lies coming from Black Lives Matter and the mainstream media, period. I make that point to say that officers like this, they will get no love, especially from the mainstream media, because the mainstream media has effectively painted the narrative that all cops are bad. And that's what Antifa chants, just with a different word, at all of their riots. We have another super chat from Jared Bailey, a $5 super chat. We salute you, Jared. Jared says, what's up, Drew? I don't even know if this is real life anymore because all the silly stuff going on. I hope you all here enjoy the rest of your day. Jared, do not lose hope. I'm going to say this to everybody in the chat. Listen, don't let these people cause you to think that you are the crazy one. These are the people that deny their sexual orientation. They deny their biology. These are people that deny you identify them as something that denies reality, okay? These are people that do not want to live in truth. What that does to a lot of people is it causes you to believe, especially when these people seem to have the majority, or they seem to have all of their hands on the levers of power, and you end up kind of feeling isolated, like you don't belong. You end up feeling ostracized. Don't get discouraged. These people are in the wrong. These people are denying reality. These people are not living in reality. They deny truth. And that's okay. That's fine. If that's where we go moving forward, I would rather die in the truth than die living a lie. Even if that means I die alone. Someone needs to quote that and like put that on a picture of my face or something. I would rather die living in truth than die living a lie. I would rather die alone. What should I say? I would rather die alone living in truth than die living a lie in any situation. And I think that's where we need to be. I would rather die by myself living in truth than dying living a lie with the world loving me. And that's okay. That's fine. So don't let these people demoralize you. Don't let these people cause you to feel like you're ostracized and you don't belong. No, these people are wrong. It's them. It's them. We have another super chat from Christopher Graves, a $50 super chat from Christopher Graves. We salute you, Christopher. Thank you for the support. We truly appreciate it very, very much. Christopher says, I couldn't help not laugh about this. I know, me neither. I grew up a minority white kid in a heavily Hispanic gang neighborhood, and the first things I noticed was that tall white dude just walking around like a dummy. Obviously never experienced this. Stay up. Drew, it's true. Because, I mean, I know, listen, some white people grow up in some pretty hard gang-infested neighborhoods, but you do got some white people that have never experienced violence, that have never experienced a gunshot or anything like that, and I just don't understand. The dude's just walking around like nothing's wrong. It's either he's really calm or he's really stupid, but I get it, right? Some of these people are just... But it's like I said, they deny reality. They act, listen, the reason why I think that guy may have done that is because they only let in journalists that they think are friends. So these people come in thinking that they're invincible. And they're not. Because these people don't care. The color of your skin can get you killed nowadays. And it's not because white people made it that way. It's because these radical blacks on the left and these minorities on the left are making it this way. I condemn it. You're hearing this from a minority. I condemn it. I think it's wrong. It's wrong. It's racist. It shouldn't be happening. Y'all know what it is. We have a donation, a $200 donation on Venmo from Zach Kahia. Zach Kahia, we salute you. Everybody say thank you to Zach. Thank you very much, Zach Kahia, with the $200 donation on Venmo. Zach writes a message. Sorry, my phone is being a little weird right now, but let me get this up. I want to make sure I get it read. Zach Kahia says, give me a second, on Venmo. Zach with the $200 donation on Venmo says, thank you for everything you do, brother. Really appreciate your courage, honesty, and most of all, your Christ-centeredness. Stay safe, stay free, and God bless. Thank you so much, Zach. Thank you so much, Zach Kahia, for the $200 donation. We salute you. Keep it Christ-centered always. That is what we aspire to do. Everybody say thank you to Zach. Thank you very much, Zach. We love you. Thank you for the support. As always, like I always say, this channel is extremely deboosted, so I thank you very, very, very much. Very much for the support. I truly appreciate it. We have another super chat from Whatever and Everything. Another super chat from Whatever and Everything. A $10 super chat. We salute you, Whatever and Everything. Says, hey, Drew, as always, speaking the truth. Got an email at work today about the anniversary of George Floyd. Honestly, it got me furious. This BS should not be in the workplace. No. Oh, but you talk about MAGA and Trump. Oh my gosh, you're a white nationalist. You're a domestic terrorist. That has no room in the workplace. If you bring an American flag in, you're gonna trigger all the woke-tards and all the millennials in your workplace. And you know what? You got to lose your job. Canceled. Anything American is now being destroyed and considered a threat. Do you see the subversion? Do you see the change? Where a fentanyl addict that is now a hero in the eyes of millions of people that has been propped up by the communists is okay. But anything that's pro-patriot in the workplace, oh, you might be that's a little white supremacist there of it. You got to get rid of that. You don't want to offend somebody. Whatever and Everything says, I was 2 seconds from walking out. Praying hands. We're praying for you, Whatever and Everything. We're praying for you. It sucks, man. Like I said, these people, the cultural Marxism, the critical race theory, it's invading everything. We have another super chat from Demizi626 with a $10 super chat. We salute you. They turned Minneapolis into Mogadishu, so faceplant. It's funny because there are people. Listen, I have to divide this. There are people who know what they're doing in Black Lives Matter. The neo-communists, the Marxists, they know that this is the outcome. They want a regime change. So when I make fun of them and call them stupid, like, yeah, what you think was going to happen with defunding the police, I'm mainly speaking to like all the woke-tards on the left that actually believe Black Lives Matter. That's kind of how I separate that. But they just want chaos. It sucks. We have another super chat from Judy P. We salute you. Judy P, thank you for the $50 donation. Everybody say thank you to everybody, especially Judy as well, another frequent supporter of mine, for the $50 super chat. Thank you, Judy, for the support. We have another super chat from Christopher Graves, a $15 super chat. We salute you, Judy and Christopher. Reporter, reporting live about defunding the police. Shots fired. Quick, call the police. Back to you, Drew. That's what I was saying earlier. It's like, what are they going to do? Call the cops? Oh, come save us. Come save. If these white reporters call the cops on black people in George Floyd Square in Minneapolis, those white people will have their faces beaten in. Because the BLM militants will say, why are you calling the cops? Why are you calling these racist terrorists on our brothers and sisters? What are you doing here? I've seen this stuff happen, guys. I've seen Black Lives Matter do this kind of stuff. That's why it's just so hard, man. It's you get exposed to the truth and you see some things and the rest of the country doesn't see it. And you sound like a crazy person sometimes. That's what sucks about a lot of this. I've seen these people do some crazy things and unfortunately I wasn't able to document it, and it's just like, you know who these people really are. We have another super chat from White House We salute you with the $5 super chat. What's going on, man? Hey, beautiful people, he says. Or White House says, hey, beautiful people, I hope everyone is doing great. With billions of dollars raised, name 3 positive things BLM has done for black people. Name 1. Well, I mean, I guess the co-founder is a multimillionaire. Bought a bunch of mansions for herself. Isn't it funny how America works? Isn't it funny how rich America is? To where a black person could grift and literally enrich themselves off of a lie. Listen, this is how privileged a black person is in America. You want to hear this? Listen to this, okay? Someone screen record this because this is going to trigger a bunch of people. This is how privileged black people are in this country. You have a black person that has founded an organization claiming that black people are oppressed. You have a black person that has founded an organization claiming that black people are oppressed and also financially oppressed through systemic racism in this country. These black Americans are so privileged that they have built an empire of wealth off of that very narrative that black people are oppressed and financially oppressed because of systemic racism. She's built an empire based upon that narrative and enriched herself with billions of dollars. That's how privileged black people are in this country to do something like that, okay? And get away with it. I'm so oppressed. I'm so oppressed. Systemic racism. I can't make any wealth for myself. That's my grift. That's my lie. Becomes a multimillionaire in less than a decade. Billionaire in less than a decade. The organization. That is how privileged black people are in this country, that you could do something like that. Oh my goodness. We have another super chat from Aletha Lee. We salute you. Aletha Lee says, Floyd is no hero and did not deserve a gold horse-drawn carriage. Of course not. He's a fentanyl addict. I look up to the guy. Do I think that was a very horrible situation? Yeah. Do I think it could have been avoided? Yeah. Do I think the guy should have just not resisted arrest? Which, by the way, there was a black guy that was standing right in front of George Floyd as he was resisting arrest in front of Derek Chauvin and all police officers. There was literally a black guy telling George Floyd, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. Stop resisting. You guys see that? I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of woke tards in this chat on the left. Not talking to you, DH Alliance. I'm pretty sure there's woke tards in here that are like, what? What do you mean? There was a black guy telling George Floyd not to resist arrest. What do you mean? Yes, it's in the body cam footage. Whole thing could have been avoided. George Floyd is not a hero. Period. He's not. He's not a hero. Alrighty, we have, whoa. Sorry about that. We have some more super chats before I let you guys go. We have a super chat here from, where did I leave off? Christopher Graves with the $15 super chat. Thank you, Christopher. We salute you. Christopher says, the sad part is that this communist takeover being marked as socialism has been in the makings for decades. Yep. It's accelerated now because Trump interrupted the 16-year plan. Love you, bro. Okay, yeah. I get you, man. Love you too. We'll use some biblical terms. We phileo, right? Brotherly love. I got you. Boom. Yes, it's very true. This has been decades in the making. The United States of America has been effectively demoralized. I believe this started, man, you could probably say, I think America was aggressively anti-communist and anti-fascist, real anti-fascist. I would say probably coming out of World War II. We'll maybe start there. Coming out of that, you start to see the subversion. You see it begin to manifest. You see America begin to surrender its morality. You see America become more degenerate, right? You see America begin to start to denounce its own nationality and renounce its own pride of being an American country and becoming less Christian and more neoliberal. And what that means now is just being completely degenerate. So you're right. This has been decades in the making. And I think we've been extremely demoralized. And I think we're heading now further into destabilization of the United States. I think that's where we're going. And I think part of the border crisis is part of that because it's strategically planned. We have another super chat from Damazi626. We salute you. Two more. Damazi with two super chats says, don't forget to mention how Black Lives Matter supports the occult and one world religion. Oh, 100%. I've seen Black Lives. You guys can see everything I tell you. You guys can check it on my Twitter. I have seen Black Lives Matter praying for all the so-called Christians out there that get behind Black Lives Matter. And if your pastor supports Black Lives Matter, you need to leave that church like immediately. Okay? Like immediately. I have been to Black Lives Matter protests where these people openly pray to unknown deity and spirits. Okay? as a Christian, I'm sitting there, I'm like, what in the hell? Like, these people pray to open unknown deities and spirits. They don't identify them at all. Yahweh, the God of the Bible, identifies himself through prayer. There is a way that you communicate to him. He lays that out very perfectly in the scriptures. These people pray to unknown spirits. That's who they pray to. They have no relationship with it. Yep. That's what these people do. Definitely tap into the occult. These people are Satanists. You're right, Dominic. He also says, if you belong to Christ, you don't belong to this world. Yes, 100%. We are in the world, but not of the world. Christ has left us in the world to reach the world with the gospel of Jesus Christ for as long as we shall remain until we expire or the rapture of the church and we eject out of here, son. Aren't you guys ready, Christians? Aren't you guys ready to just be raptured? Like, God, dude, imagine how amazing that would be if the rapture of the church just like happened right now and we're just like in heaven and it's over and we come back in Revelation 19 and Jesus is just slaughtering the Antichrist and oh man, dude. This is a joy, isn't it? Can't wait for that day. But till then, here we are. We occupy and we fight for righteousness' sake. Biblically based, that is. We have a $5 donation from Suzanne Small. We salute you, Suzanne. Thank you so much for the super chat. We have another super chat from Letty Chares? Chades? I don't know if I pronounce. I'm sorry. I'm so bad with names. Letty with the $25 super chat. We salute you. Letty says, thank you, Drew, for always keeping it real. We're not all woke Wookiees in Cali. I know. Trust me. I know. Laugh out loud. But yeah, many libtards here. I know not everyone in Cali is a Wookiee. There's still a remnant in Cali. I know. So don't feel bad when I come out and I rail out against Cali. It's just the majority in Cali is all the woke tards are winning over there, man. It's just bad. This is bad. And I don't think Caitlyn Jenner's the answer, man. I don't. Caitlyn Jenner, listen, this is what people need to understand. Caitlyn Jenner is obviously fiscally conservative. But what about socially? This is the conversation I want to hear from people. Okay, just because Caitlyn Jenner says, oh, well, yeah, just peddles to the conservatives and says what they want to hear. Yeah, the whole trans sports thing. I don't think a male should, compete with women, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. I'll just leave it at that. I don't think that Jenner is actually the answer. I'll just tell you that right now. I don't think Jenner is the answer. I'll tell you that right now. All right, we have another super chat from Whatever and Everything. $5 super chat. We salute you. Drew, got to hit you with another $5 cash. People are scared to say the truth. Thank you so much. People are scared to say the truth. They know it's wrong, but they're only going with what's trending, spineless. And that's the big part of it. I think I talk about this enough, and I hope people understand this because I try and let people know, because what's happened is cultural Marxism and critical race theory has become so mainstream that people only get with this stuff because it's trendy. And I think we saw a prime example of that with the Queers for Palestine movement, okay? It makes no sense, literally no sense, that homosexuals and the LGBTQ community is standing in solidarity with Palestine and Hamas? Like Muslims with extreme views that believe in executing homosexuals? Like, listen, so how does someone get to that? Listen, you see those photos and you're like, oh my gosh, these stupid people. Do they not know? No, they don't. They just know that the trendy thing, the critical Marxist thing, right? The critical race theory thing is whoever the victim is, that's who we get behind. Doesn't even matter. Whoever they're saying the victim is, that's who we get behind. No facts, no logic, no context, no backstory. Just point us in the direction. Useful idiots. And that's who we'll go advocate for. Because now it's become mainstream. And like Whatever and Everything is saying, it is literally trendy now. It's crazy, man. You got to protect your kids. You parents out there, listen, I was a youth pastor for like 5 years. And I'd always tell pastors, and yeah, I would tell pastors, I would tell parents, this stuff is coming and it's going to be mainstream and they're targeting our kids. Oh, they would never listen to me. Drew, it's a little too extreme. I don't think we should talk about this. We should talk about like, and here we are. Here we are. You think the devil cares? You think Satan is sitting there like, I'm going to go a little easy on these teenagers. I'm going to go a little easy on these preteens. I'm going to go a little easy on these kids. I'm going to wait till they get older. I'm going to wait till these babies. I'm going to wait till they get older before I try to manipulate their minds and rape their minds. Dude, if you think that way as a Christian, my goodness. You probably don't even read the Bible. You probably don't. Listen, demons were demon-possessing children out of their minds, attempting to kill them, attempting to suffocate them. They're foaming at the mouth, throwing them into fires, almost causing them to die. Listen, you got to understand, man, they go after the youth immediately with the most graphic and harshest things. Christians need to be more confrontational, period. Spiritually, vocally, intellectually, they have to. They have to. We have some more super chats from Texas Horse Rescue, a $10 super chat. What's going on, Horse Rescue? We salute you. We must pray for strength to defeat this communist agenda. I agree, and we need to mobilize as peacefully as possible. Our prayers are stronger when two or more are gathered in his name. Virtually counts two. This is a weapon the left cannot cancel. God help us. Yeah, I agree, but also martyrdom and persecution is a very powerful weapon that God uses. Very powerful weapon. And I think America might be heading in that direction. It could be completely out of our control. And what do you mean by that, Drew? You read the book of Acts. One of the most powerful things that the Holy Spirit did in the book of Acts was allow Christians, even in the New Testament as a whole, one of the most powerful things that the Holy Spirit does, which, by the way, theologically speaking, when you read Acts chapter 1, verse 8, when Jesus says the Holy Spirit will come down and come upon you and empower you, and you will become witnesses unto me in Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth, right? That word witnesses is specifically talking about, it's actually martyr. It's like a martyr. You'll be able to literally become a martyr, obviously a witness, powerful, but in the context of what Jesus was saying was, when that time comes, when your life is on the line, and they want to kill you because of me, you will become that effective witness in that time. When that martyr time comes, you will have the power from the Holy Spirit to become that effective witness. In context, that's really what Christ was telling his disciples specifically in that moment. So I say that to say this. If persecution is here, it's here. And, God is going to allow it. I think it's going to do two things. What persecution has always done historically to the church is expose the sheep from the goats, tell you who's real and who's not, and just explode the church with growth. It's always done that. So I agree. We need to pray. We need to mobilize. We need to push back. I'm not like this ostrich Christian. Just put your head in the sand and trust in. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, hey, Christian, that time of martyrdom could be coming very soon to this country. And listen, people need to understand, because Americans haven't experienced it. You need to understand, man, God will allow it. And God uses it as a massive witness for the gospel. He's done that for millennia, past 2,000 years. So thank you for that, Texas Horse Rescue. I agree. Very great point. We have another super chat from NW Dragonfly. We salute you, the $10 super chat. Can I ask how you feel about Biden saying the individuals who choose not to be vax will pay the price? Please respond to this. I apologize if you spoke on this. I arrived late to the party. No, let me read that one more time. Biden saying the individuals who choose not to be vax will pay the price. Yeah, I was talking about this on Real America's Voice a couple days ago with the team, and I was saying that I think it's very clear that if Trump, number one, said that, he would be called a fascist, a dictator, the whole 9 yards, and the entire radical left would lose its mind and riot, right? But Biden gets a pass. And this is where I like to show people about the demoralization. A comment like that is very, very threatening. Very, very fascy, okay? Very, very dictatorial. And I think what's interesting about this is Americans that are SJWs, woketards, are so demoralized to this that if Trump were to say something like that, they'd lose their minds. Trump doesn't even, they just think that's what Trump is. But Biden actually comes out and makes statements like fascist statements. And no one says a thing. They defend it. They brush it under the rug. And I don't particularly think it's because it's on their side. I think these people are really blind to it. They really do give it a pass. Because they're just spiritually blind to the reality that they got some real dictatorial language coming out of this president, but they're just blinded by their hatred towards Trump, which they thought. Their figment of imagination. This is this common trend, right? You see this over and over again. Black Lives Matter, the radical left. White supremacy is everywhere. White supremacy is the greatest threat to the American people. It's everywhere. Well, where's the evidence? We don't have any. We're just telling you that. Well, so is this real? It doesn't matter. This is the threat of the century. And it changes all this policy. It destroys the country. This paranoia that cultivates this monster in the ether that doesn't exist. It's the same thing they did with Trump. Trump is a fascist. He's a Nazi. Oh my gosh, he's going to kill all the minorities. Never happened. 4 years, never happened. This paranoia that cultivates this monster in the ether that never exists. I think it's interesting that their paranoia and their denial of reality cultivates these false fantasies and monsters. But the real reality staring them in the face, they cannot see it because their paranoia has carved this alternate universe in their minds. Am I being too confusing? Does that make sense? You see what I'm saying? Like that's what these people have done. And I think it's interesting. They would never be able to see a real dictator or fascist if he was standing right in front of their face. Literally. All right, I think we have a couple more super chats that I want to get to. I don't want to leave any unread. We have another super chat from Zach Kahia. Hey, thank you very much, Zach. Zach says, the greatest trick the devil ever played is convincing the world he doesn't exist. Agree. Satan will always go for the extreme. Yes, and Satan is a counterfeit. Be careful. In the last days, Jesus made it very clear. Many will come in his name, false Christs, false miracles, false deceptions, things that are engineered by demonic powers that appear to look like Christianity or Christ. You got to be if you're not a Christian, you're not going to see this stuff, man. If you're not in the Bible, you're not in the Word, you will not see it. A lot of this anti-Semitism is part of that. I'm just going to be honest. It really is. It really is. Because there's a lot of propaganda coming out from the Middle East, and Americans don't even realize it. I thought it was interesting that the left changed its narrative. There might be something left, and came out and condemned anti-Semitism and saying, yeah, we should probably start saying that Jews are committing genocide against, because it's causing a race war in the United States and across the world when that's not the reality. There is not a genocide happening. Be very careful, man. Some spiritual issues. Some very spiritual issues. So be very careful. We have another super chat from Christopher Graves. We salute you with the $25 super chat. Christopher says, I've been busy, so haven't checked if you covered this. How about that new Army recruitment video? Yes, we're going to do that this week. So I'm not going to speak too much about it right now. We'll do it on a future episode, either tomorrow or on Thursday. Imagine what other militaries are thinking about us when they see that. Military was supposed to be the last line of defense. Yes, it's the subversion. It's in the pop culture. It's in the education system. It's everywhere you look. It's in the military. It's obviously in our politics. But this is a full-scale psychological war that is subverting and it's destabilizing the United States of America across the board. That's what you're seeing, man. Conservatives, patriots, we need to get more mobile. We need to push back. We need to get in positions of authority to say no. Enough is enough. We're not going to... Listen, they already think you're a racist. They're going to call you that anyways. Do what's right, regardless of what the other side says. The devil is the accuser of the brethren. All that slander, all those lies, all those things that are not true, let it come. Just let it come, man. Let it come. God is with us. If God be for us, who could be against us? Let the accusations come. We need to do what's right. We need to stand for what is right. We need to continue to literally, peacefully stand our ground for what is right, regardless of what the other side says or lies about us or slanders us. We stand in truth and we stand with God, and He will do the rest as we continue to move forward. We have another super chat from Damazi626 says, my friend's church in the San Fernando Valley went full woke. That's a shame, but that's what the Bible said. Read 1 and 2 Timothy. The Spirit expressly says that in the last days, many will depart from the faith. My friend's church in the San Fernando Valley went full woke, started pushing the Caucasians aside and putting all the minorities on stage. So what is the name of this church? I want to know. Can you send me the name of this church, bro? You don't have to send a super chat. I want to know about this. Is San Fernando, I'm assuming California, right? Please put in the chat. I want to know what church did this. Oh, man, I swear, if it's like a Calvary Chapel, man, oof, wouldn't surprise me. While I wait on that, we have another super chat from White House a $5 super chat. Remember, y'all, don't lean on a shovel and pray for a hole. Gotta work. Like Drew said, stand up and do something. Yes, get active, get involved. Get involved at the local level. Get involved at the school board level. Listen, if you want to get into the mainstream, if you want to get into arts and become a lawyer, they're on all fronts. These people are on all fronts. Do something. Infiltrate something. Take a page out of their playbook. Infiltrate these levels and these lanes of society with your values. That's how we do it. Just pick something. Pick something. And at all costs, you defend the integrity of your family and their values. At all costs. At all costs. I really want to know what this church was, man. I really want to know. Alrighty, guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. Like I said, if you guys would like to continue to support, check out the merch store at drewhlive.com. The link is in the description below. Make sure to share this video far and wide wherever you can. Follow me on all my socials. The links are in the description below. Toggle on the all selection. Hit that bell notification. Smash that like button. Let's get to 500 likes on this video. I know you guys can do it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Shepherd Church in Porter Ranch, California. Shepherd Church in Porter Ranch, California. Okay, I'm going to look into that. I find that very interesting. Thank you so much for that, DamiZ626. So thank you guys very much for tuning in tonight. Like I said, we do this show Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I made the announcement the other day. I will be featured every single day on Real America's Voice on their TV network. You can download the app on Android. You can download it on iOS. You can watch it on their website, on Roku, all that good stuff. I will be featured at least 3 times a day on Real America's Voice, just breaking it down as an official contributor and commentator on the network. Thank you, God, for that. That is definitely awesome. So make sure to download their app and take a look at that, guys, and show your support for me on their network. So thank you guys very, very much. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys, Lord willing, tomorrow night. Thank you guys for the support tonight. And until next time, America, stay free.